Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Terry. You're talking to, we're live from Austin, Texas. Another episode of Tuesdays with Terry. It's great to be here. It's great that you are listening in. Thank you so much again for listening into the podcast. I appreciate you. Appreciate the folks that listen and folks that also share the podcast with some other folks. If you think it's something that can help you, help a friend or family member out and give them a little inspiration, motivation, give them some tips about business, about sales, marketing, about leadership, or about personal empowerment, would you do me a favor? Share it with a friend. As I always say, I almost forgot this morning, we're talking live from Austin, Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is sweet, and all the drinks are free if you're going to hang out with me. So it is December, 12th month of the year. And if you're like me, you had a great Thanksgiving. I had a quiet Thanksgiving this year, a little bit quieter than normal. But boy, you sit down at that Thanksgiving dinner and you eat the turkey and you eat the mashed potatoes and you eat the stuffing and the green bean casserole and all the good things. And boy, I'll tell you, after we eat, we go right into that old food coma, right? Lay down on the couch, watch a little football and talk with friends or family, whatever it is. But what you find out happening in Thanksgiving, moving into December and the holiday season, right? We see all the advertisements on television for the holidays. We see all the Christmas lights up, holiday lights up. We see all the stores with their specials and promotions. And so we begin to get into that holiday spirit. But I want to remind you that, and my talk today is really entitled How to Have a Productive December, just as an FYI. So how do you really have a productive December? Because what happens is, this proves my point about the power of mindset. The mindset begins to start thinking about the holidays. And isn't it hard to get a hold of other people during the holidays? Even in business, it's hard because it takes an extra day or two, or already I've had business conversations where my attorneys or my business partners say, boy, we've got to get that done now because of the holidays, or we know people are out and checking out during the holidays, or they're going to be off the week between Christmas and New Year's. We just got to get going. Otherwise, it's not going to happen before the new year. And so what happens is that mindset gets going, and sure enough, we've got the holiday parties and the company parties and the family get-togethers, and you got the just all of that stuff going on. And so we get into this holiday mode. But I want to remind you, it's not just about that. It's about how do you separate yourself? How do you become more productive, particularly in the month of December? You know this, maybe you know this, but most people gain 6 to 8 pounds over the holidays. From Thanksgiving all the way through December, it's because they increase in what they eat. They increase in the types of foods that they eat. They increase in the alcohol they consume. They are doing more and more of those things as opposed to the things that keep them healthy, the things that keep them on point. And so what I want to share with you is a couple of ideas for you personally, how to have a more productive December, but also maybe how you can have a more business productive December. Wouldn't that be great to come out of December and say, man, I feel good. I'm glad I didn't gain those 6 or 8 pounds. I'm glad I got certain things done in my business. And this was really one of the most productive Decembers that I ever had. Have you ever noticed the words on the cards or the verses or the phrases that we say all pertain to holiday? They don't pertain to Halloween, and they don't pertain to Month. And so what happens is it takes 2 or 3 days to get responses from people when normally you could get a response in 24, 48 hours. But it just seems to take longer because of this mindset. And so holidays turn into Halloweeks, Halloweeks turn into Months, and pretty soon here we are in January and December's gone by and we say, I don't feel good, I don't look good, I put on some extra weight, man, my business is just kind of taking a stall. What can I do to differentiate this month? What can I do to differentiate? You talk about in business, you always want to be different from the competition. You always want to outperform your competitors. You always want to do better than you did the prior month, right? Process improvement, business improvement. So how do you do that? How do you change your mindset? And the first thing you do is take out a blank sheet of paper and make a list. If you're driving and listen to this, don't do this now. But if you, in fact, are in a place where you could take out a piece of paper, maybe just write a few notes for yourself. So first of all is what can you do personally? Number one is many times what happens is in the month of December from Thanksgiving, even over Thanksgiving weekend, right? You might have just kind of gotten into a mode that you ate a little bit too much on Thursday. And so Friday was kind of a slow day and it was, maybe not so much. And then you say, well, I didn't really work out Friday. And then you had leftovers Friday afternoon or night. And then you don't end up working out on Saturday and you don't exercise on Sunday. And here we are. And what was one day holiday turned into 3 or 4 days for you. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is remember your fitness level and remember your fitness in the month of December. And try to continue to discipline yourself and not let yourself put a day off around your workouts. A lot of people talk about an 8-week program. A lot of people talk about a 12-week program, 12 weeks to success, a transformation challenge in 8 to 12, whatever that. I have a new philosophy. It's called Get My Workout In Today. As long as I get it in today, I don't have to worry about 6 weeks or 12 weeks or 8 weeks. All I can tell you is consistency beats perfection, and don't skip your workouts in the month of December. Number 2, nutrition. Oh my goodness, my wife just made something called goodie bars. I don't know if you've ever had these things before, but they're like 7-layer bars and they've got butterscotch chocolate chips and they've got chocolate chips and they got coconut and they got condensed milk and they got graham cracker. Oh my gosh, just layers and layers and layers of sugar and calories. And I love them. I love them, absolutely love them. And so what I told her is I said, you got to give some of these away because otherwise I'll end up eating a whole stack of them. And that's not going to be a good thing, right? But what about your nutrition? Do you really need the extra portion? Do you really need seconds and thirds? I'm just saying, do you really need it? I know you like it. I know it tastes good. But could you separate yourself this December as you go to company parties, as you go to family gatherings, as you go to family outings or friends giving or friends holiday parties? Do you really need to eat the amount of portions that you do? So that's a way to separate yourself is say this year it's going to be a little bit different for me. I'm just going to trim back. And also what about the drinking? Is there an opportunity to not feel the way you feel the next morning if you don't drink as much as you did the night before? And so can you limit your alcohol? Here in Texas, we say one for you and one for your horse, right? You get an alcoholic adult beverage for yourself, and then you have a glass of water for yourself. That's what horses drink is water. See, so you get a drink for yourself, one for your horse. Okay, got it. What about your rest? Are you out till the wee hours of the morning? Or are you up till past midnight? But are you actually getting your rest? I'm just telling these are simple, basic, fundamental things over December that sometimes we forget because it's December. And our mindset says party. Our mindset says gatherings. Our mindset says social. And then what that does is puts us in a fog the next day and maybe for 2 days, and we're not really ready for a good December. And so those simple pieces right there of exercise, a little better nutrition, getting your rest, drinking lots of water, those are some really basic fundamental pieces to having a personal best or better December. I can't tell you what to do. I can only make some recommendations, and those are my recommendations. Now let's talk about professional real quick. On the professional side, what can you do to separate yourself from competition? Now I'm going to speak specific to my business. I don't know how your business flows from a revenue standpoint or from a sales standpoint, but for my business, we do 40% of our business in the first 15 days, and we do 60% of our business in the second half of the month. And so I'm always looking for ways to improve the first 15 days, getting a fast start, getting a good start to the month. And I can tell you, if you don't get it by the 23rd or to the by the 23rd, it's probably not going to happen, primarily because of the holiday. And I'm talking holidays for everybody, right? It's Hanukkah, it's Christmas, it's all of the holidays that get celebrated, but people really just get their heads wrapped around that. And it's harder to get a hold of people. But how do you improve the first 15 days? And here we are right at the beginning of December already. So now is when you should be thinking about that. I'll tell you a couple things that we do. We hold over our closeout offer for November into the first 2 days of December. And so that gives us an extra little push right in December 1st and December 2nd to do a little bit better, to run a promotion that allows us to focus. We also try to incentivize our staff and our team to do better in the first 15 days. And so if your sales team can perform better in the first 15 days, perhaps they get a slight drop, a 10%, a 5% drop in their quotas. But the key is how do you perform in the first 15 days versus the last 15 days? So that's one. The second one, I think I want to mention to you is about Fridays. What happens on Friday? Now, in the real estate business, apologize if you are in the real estate business, it's been, from my experience, very difficult to get a hold of brokers and real estate people on a Friday afternoon. It seems like I don't get a return call. If I reach out to somebody, I won't get a return call. And isn't that true for a lot of people? They start thinking about their weekends around 1 o'clock. Statistics show us that productivity on a Friday afternoon goes down significantly. What if you change that? What if you had some special emphasis or motivation or inspiration or incentives for Friday 12 to close business? What if you took that and said, and maybe it's not for the consumer as much as it might be for your staff or for your people, is maybe they get double bonus points for commissions, or maybe they get double commissions on a Friday afternoon for closing a deal on a Friday afternoon. I'm just saying, is there anything you can do to perk up and spiff up Friday afternoon as opposed to saying people are checked out, they're not thinking about work, they're not thinking about business, they're already on to their weekend plans. And by the way, normally every day we work till 5 or 6 o'clock, but on Fridays, we're kind of out of here at 2:33 in the afternoon, and it's a 2.5 day weekend there for you, right? You got to change that. What about Saturday mornings? Now, we had a rule for a while in our business where if you weren't projecting 80% of your quotas or 80% of your sales, then you would have to pick up and be in the business, actively work the business from 9 a.m. till 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. In other words, what we say is we give you the opportunity to try to get the job done in 5 days, Monday through Friday, and then you get the weekends off. If you are unable to do that, maybe you need to put in some extra time and extra effort, and usually that's Saturday. Saturday is the best retail day of the week, by the way, if you didn't know that. So if you're want people to try and come and explore your product, see your product, experience your product or services, Saturday, because most people are off, would be a good time to do that. But how are Saturdays different? All I'm suggesting is maybe it's you are the one that could make Saturday different. Even if you're an owner or a supervisor or a boss, maybe if you just showed up randomly to your business and showed people that you cared and you were willing to put in time, just like you're asking them to put in time. Have you ever thought about that? And the last one I want to talk about productivity is evenings. And I know we all work, 8, 10 hour, 12 hour days, whatever it is in your business, but is there 30 minutes? I'm just asking, I'm not saying, I'm just exploring this. Is there 30 minutes that you could sneak away and get on and maybe return some emails or do some thought processes around your business or respond to somebody that would save you a little bit of time? And you do that 30 minutes a night, maybe when the kids are in bed, or maybe it's later in the evening. I've got a good friend of mine that he responds to emails within 24 hours, and much of his work is done between 10 and midnight. After the kids are in bed and things are kind of settled down at his house, he'll step into his home office and he'll jump on his emails and respond to his emails. But I'm just saying, is there a chance for you to do something? And I'm not saying for 2 hours, but I'm saying for 30 minutes. I mean, 30 minutes a night for, a couple nights, 5 nights is 2.5 hours. There's a lot you can get done in 2.5 hours. If you're a salesperson and you're scrolling through social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever it is, maybe there's an opportunity for you to pick up a lead or find a lead or jot a name and a number down. In my business, we ask our sales associates to generate 6 to 10 leads per day. But could you take 30 minutes at night while you're scrolling through your social media, pop onto your studio page or your business page, and actually data mine is what I call it. Data mining is where you look at your fan base, you look at people that liked your thing and jot their name down and give them a Facebook text or a Facebook, get their number and ask them if they have a friend or family member that would like to see, try, experience your product or service. I'm just saying there's all kinds of ways to do that. But are you checked out, when you leave work, and are you just Netflixing your brain to death? Are you, sports ESPNing your brain to death? And a lot of times what you find out, if you like to watch sports highlights like I do, you watch them at night at the end of the day, and then the next morning they're on and you watch them again, but you watch the same damn highlights you watched the day before. That's not doing anything for you. So any case, those are a couple of ideas. It's not, I call it a pocket full of ideas. So I gave you a pocket full of ideas about how to have a good December, a more productive December for you personally. Maybe a pocket full of ideas about how to have your business have a more productive December. And I wish you the best December. I hope it goes well. Remember, it's a holiday, not a hollow month. Have a wonderful month. My name's Terry, and I'm your friend.